Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
Did I gang bang? And I told him, yeah, I bang. So he asked me where I was from. Told him where I was from. So they ended up classifying me to the gang module. So I go to the gang module, and then the homie, he say the same thing. So he go to the gang module. So as we go to the gang module, we run into the other homies from the hood. I'm just gonna jump right into this. It was January of 1990. I was 18 years old. And my friends came to my mom's house to pick me up in a stolen car. So when my homeboy knocked on the door, he was like, come on, man, we finna roll to the hood. Because my mom was staying in Rialto. So we was rolling back to Pasadena, where I'm from, where I'm born and raised. So it was a 1984 yellow Cadillac sedan DeVille. So I take off my Jerry curl cap. I put on some black shoes, some brown khakis, and a black shirt. And I go outside to go leave with my friends. So as I'm getting inside the stolen Cadillac, my mom, she comes to the door and she says, Ivan, where are you going? I said, I'm finna go with my friends, Mama. She said, you don't need to go nowhere. You need to stay in this house. And I said, Mama, remember what you told me? You said when I turn 18 years old, I can do whatever I want to do. And she looked at me and she said, all right, I done told you. And she walked in the house and she closed the door. So I hop in the stolen Cadillac with my friends and we leave. We hop on the 10 freeway. We're headed westbound going to the hood. So the homie was like, hey, we need to get some more cars. I know somebody that got a chop shop where they paying top dollars for stolen Cadillacs. Let's roll and go get two more. Because it was me and we had another homie. He was from Black Peastone, so he say. But we never been to his hood with him or nothing. We just took his word for it because we all hung around each other and he said he was a Don Moose, so it was cool. You know what I'm saying? But we been to his house. But we never been with him in his hood like we took dudes to our hood. Put it like that. So as we ride and we're going through Montclair, so we get off on, I believe it's Mountain Street. And we bust a right and then we bust a left on 7th Street into some apartment complexes. It was across the street from a place called Bullwinkle's. It was a little arcade place, little mini car race, miniature golf place. where kids played, where families took their children at. But we went across the street to the apartment complex. As we creeping through in the stolen yellow Cadillac, we see a older lady getting out of her car. So we run up, snatch her keys, make her leave, and we take her car and we go. So just as we leaving, we see another man getting out of his Cadillac. So we jumped out on him and took his car. Now each individual has a Cadillac on their own. So we rush out of the apartment building. Next door was I think it's a car wash place. So we just standing there. We chopped it up for like a second because we knew we had to get up out of there before the police came. So we hop on the freeway and we ride. See, so back then we didn't have cell phones. So in order for us to communicate, we had to ride next to each other and yell out the window of what was going on. So the problem that we were having was all of the cars that we jacked and we stole was all on empty. So we said, all right, cool. So as we riding down the 10 West freeway going through Pomona, we end up going up to the 57 North, which would have took us to the 210 Pasadena. So we end up getting off in San Dimas at the 76 gas station. If you ever rode down to 57 and you see that big old 76 gas station sign, that's the gas station that we went at. Next to that gas station is a Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I pull up on pump number 6. The other homie, he pull up on pump number 10. And the other homie from Black Pea Stone, he pull up on pump number 12. So we give him the money, the homie from Black Pea Stone, and we tell him, hey, put 10 on 6, put 10 on number 10, and put whatever you gonna put on number 12. So he was like, all right, I got you. So we go up there and cash register. So I'm sitting up here, we waiting at the gas pump. We waiting on him. So I can hear him because I'm on pump 6 and I can hear him talking to an older white lady. So he's telling her, can I have 10 on number 6? Can I have 10 on number 10? And can I have $8 on number 12? And the old lady, she said, can you repeat that again? So the homie from Black Pea Stone, he repeated it again. And the old white lady didn't hear him again. So then he got frustrated and he got pissed off and he got upset. Then he started yelling at the lady. He said, bitch, I said 10 on number 6, 10 on number 12, no, 10 on number 10, and $8 on number 12. And the words that got us caught up was, he says to the old lady, you stupid bitch, you lucky I don't rob this motherfucker. After he gave the lady the money. So we sitting up there standing at the fucking gas pumps. And the next thing you know, here comes the San Dimas Sheriff's Department, like 10 cars deep. I never forget it because I tried to walk to the back end where the Kentucky Fried Chicken was to go take me a piss, but they were already closed because it was late at night. So I remember it was a little deputy, man. He couldn't been no more than 5'3", 5'4". His ass jumped out with that little revolver, and he was so scared. He was like, freeze! And I just put my hands up. I had my brownies on. So then they made me turn around with my hands up, and they made me walk backwards to the car, and they put me in handcuffs. Then they did the homie like that, and then they did the other homie from Black P Stone like that, and then they took us to jail. They took us to the Walnut police station, and I knew, I got a free call, but I didn't call my mom. I called my auntie Ethel May, and I told my auntie Ethel May to relate the message to my mom that I got into some trouble and I'm locked up and I'm in jail. So she was like, all right, I'll tell her. And I just hung up the phone. The police did like an interview and asking us what happened and all this other stuff, and we just vaguely just didn't, we told them some stupid shit. But back then, not knowing what I know now, what we should have did was we should have kept our mouths shut. But me and the homie tried to make up this story that collab with each other so we can get up out of there. But we didn't get a chance to collab the same story with the homie from Black P Stone. So we stayed in that jail in Walnut substation for like 2 days. So then they ended up taking us to the Pomona courthouse. So as we go in there, they telling us, oh yeah, y'all can get an OR. All you gotta do is fill out this paperwork and then just ask the judge for an OR. So they called the homie from Black P Stone down there first, because I thought they was gonna call all three of us, but they ended up calling him first. So when he came back to the holding cell, he was like, oh, I'm going home. I'm like, oh man, how you going home? You know what I'm saying? I ain't think nothing of it. The homie didn't think nothing of it. So when they called me and the homie, they called me and him together. So me and him, we go down there to go see the judge. OR was denied, all of that stuff. So we had to go back to jail. But they let the homie go from Black P Stone. I don't know what happened. I ain't gonna speculate what happened. I wasn't to hear it or know what happened. But all I know is they let him go. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So now we get on the bus, but we not going back to Walnut Station. They taking us to Central Jail in LA County Jail. So we on our way there. So when we get off the bus, they put us in this big old gigantic holding tank, and it's probably like maybe 200-300 people in this tank. It was nowhere to sit, nowhere to lay. It was very, very uncomfortable. So I guess we had to stay into this cell for so many hours for processing. So then they took us up to the other, I can't remember the numbers, 9,500 or whatever it was, whatever. So we go up there to that processing cell, and then they, was trying to assign us a bed and everything. But before they did that, we had to go in and get interviewed by the deputy. So when the deputy asked me, did I gang bang? And I told him, yeah, I bang. So he asked me where I was from, told him where I was from. So they ended up classifying me to the gang module. So I go to the gang module, and then the homie, he say the same thing. So he go to the gang module. So as we go to the gang module, we run into other homies from the hood, chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? When we get into the blood module, which we was on Denver Row, it was a 4-man cell, but shit, man, it was like 10 of us in there. It was like 4 people could sleep on the bunks, but everybody else had a mattress and they sheet and sleep on the floor. And when we would go to chow for being a gang member, they would shackle your hands to your waist, and then they would shackle your legs. But in chow time, they wouldn't do that. Your legs were free, but your arms were shackled. We walking and we ended up going to chow. So one of the homies see somebody that he don't like. He takes his foot and he kicks the shit out of this dude. He kicked him so hard the dude fell into the wall and fell down. The line had to stop. They snatched the homie out of the deputy snatched the homie out of line and started whooping his ass right there on the spot. They made us go back to our cells, and then they put us on lockdown. So from now on, since the homie did that, they ended up bringing our rest of our food to us in our cell. So we had the trustee come, and the trustee would bring us all of our food while the whole time I was there. So then the next time, it was time to go back to court. I had no idea that this goes on, but it went down. The homies telling me, hey, we went to court, and my mom and my cousin Daryl T had posted bail for me to get out of jail. The homie, his dad wasn't going to bail him out because he was tired of the homie always messing up and not listening to him. So he told him he was going to stay in jail because he did the crime. He going to do the time, is what his dad told him. So I'm getting all my paperwork and all that stuff ready so I can get bailed out. So we get back on the bus and we going back from Pomona to LA County Jail, Central Station Jail. So as we walking, one of the homies was like, hey, blood, get ready, because it's finna go down. And I'm like, get ready for what? He said, nigga, just be ready. He said, be ready to spit and close your mouth. So as we walk in shackle, you can hear homie. And as soon as we walk down and we hit the corner, man, the Crips just start spitting at us. Boop, 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 boop. Everybody spitting, yelling out obscenities, dissing each other's sets, ditching each other's hoods, all of that. People got spit all on their face. Some people got spit in their mouth, in their hair, all on their clothes. It was wild. So I ended up going there, and then later on, they ended up calling me to roll it up, and I ended up bailing out. I ended up fighting the case as long as I could because I was looking at 8 years. They were giving me 3 years for admitting that I was a gang member, and I was going to get 5 years for the crime that I committed, which was robbery. But they couldn't prove anything when it was time for us to go to trial. So I remember they would have like the people that we took the cars from, they would get on the stand and they would say, oh, no, I don't know if it was him, or they couldn't remember because they couldn't see our faces. We didn't show, they never got to see what we looked like. We didn't have masks on or anything like that. We were barefaced, but we kept their face away from looking at our face when we were taking their cars. So when they got on the stand, they couldn't verify who we were. So that's what helped me out with the 5 years. And as far as the gang enhancement, my mom was able to talk to the district attorney and the judge to get that dropped off my case, get it dropped off my record and off my case of me being a gang member. And I ended up getting a county lid, which was 364 days. If I would have got 365 days, I would have went to the penitentiary. But I ended up getting a county lid, and I had to turn myself in on June the 19th, 1990. And they ended up shipping me to Biscaloo Center in East LA, where I did most of my time before we kicked off a riot with the Hispanics over shoes being stolen. But that's for a whole nother story on that one. Ended up getting rolled up, sent back to Central Jail, stayed in some holding tank for maybe 2-3 days, and then they ended up shipping me to Wayside Minimum, and I did the rest of my time there. Since I was a trustee and I had good time, I only did 5 months and 20 days, and I was a free man. I ended up getting out November the 18th, 1990, at 19 years old. By that time, my mom had moved from Rialto to Rancho Cucamonga. I was a free man, and I was able to get a second chance in life and start my life over and try to do good in my life the best way I could. But it all worked out for the best. But that was a taught lesson for me in my first time going to jail. It wasn't my last time going to jail. And I got another story on that, of why the other times I went to jail. But that's going to conclude this story, and I'm out. Peace.
Double down.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating